Hello everyone, today we are diving into browser cookies. I think you've probably heard about them, especially if you live in the European Union, where almost every website pops up a cookie banner. But what are actually cookies, and how can they sometimes be dangerous for your privacy and security? Let's switch to the computer and I will show you. Let's start with this simple page, example.com. I got this page from the remote server by HTTP protocol. You can see it in the URL HTTP. But what is HTTP and what is protocol? Protocol is an agreement between you, your browser, and the server. For example, let's take a look at this document. This document describes HTTP. And this is a big document, but we don't have to read everything. The most important part for us is this line. HTTP is a stateless protocol. What does it mean? It means that all requests are isolated. And for server, it's really hard to understand that this is request from the same user. And that's the problem. That's the problem because sometimes you don't want to send some information that belongs to one user to another user. It might be a problem. And that's the reason why cookies were invented. Cookies is a special header that allows server to save some information on front-end side in the browser. And let's take a look at messages. This is example of HTTP message. Client message, the first line, it contains a method of request. It's get, post, put, and a lot of other methods. Then path to resource on the server and HTTP version. And after the first line, we see a lot of other lines. They are called headers. Let's take a look at server response. This line starts with protocol version, then response code and response message. And after that, we see a lot of other headers. And this is body. Body separated from headers by empty line. And body can be HTML page, image, or any other type of content. But for us, the most important part is headers, because we are going to work with them. And I created several web servers to demonstrate cookies in practice. Let's take a look at them. There are two web servers. They're written in JavaScript with Node.js, but you can use any language and framework, because there is only one important rule. You have to follow HTTP rules. And HTTP doesn't say that you have to use any specific language or framework. And that's good, because sometimes some languages are much better for some specific tasks. And let's take a look at the first server. It's counter, and it has two endpoints. The first one is get with this path, and the second one is post with this path. When user send you request with get method and this path, we run this function and return content some response to the user. And the first line is just we get visits from request cookies and add one. And after that, we write result to response cookie and get HTML from this page and replace visits with the new value. And after that, send user the page. And the second one, it's even easier. We just clear cookie from response and redirect user to the main page. Okay, let's start this server to take a look at this. Okay, it works. You've visited this website 1 times. Okay, it's bad, but okay. Let's reload this web page 2 times, 3 times. We can even open a new tab and we will see 4 times. And we can even open a new window with the same page and we will see 5 times. That's good. Okay, let me update this website. Okay, 6. And where do we store this value? Like I said in the beginning when I described HTTP protocol, in this line, to be honest, we don't save anything. We just create a header with this cookie and ask browser, please save this value and use it in the next requests. And where does browser save this? Browsers, they have their own storage and they just save cookie in its storage, and that's all. And user can change it, can change value, name, anything. For example, let's change this value to 8 and update 9 times. Yes, and that's all about storing cookies. And we can go to network tab, reload it, and take a look at the request and response. This is request to this path with get method. And let's take a look at request headers. Get method, this path, and cookie, this value visits 9. And let's take a look at response headers. Again, HTTP version, status, and set cookie with the new value. That's all. And after that, after this response, browser changed value to 10. That's how cookie work. Now let's take a look at the second server. It's more real-life example than the previous one, authorization. And it has 3 handlers, one get handler and 2 post. The first one is just we get session ID from cookies, then check if we have session ID from cookies, and sessions, it's our kind of database, has this session ID, we show to do HTML page. Otherwise we show sign in HTML page. To do HTML is a simple HTML page, just for example. And sign in, it's much more interesting because we have form here with method post to this path /auth. And it has 2 fields. The first one is login and the second one is password. And when you click sign in, we send this data from these fields to this endpoint. Let's take a look at this endpoint. We get login and password from request, then check are they good, are they correct, and if they are correct, we create a session ID, just random string, and add it to our database. And after that, create cookie with session ID and redirect user to the main page. Otherwise, show that invalid credentials. Yeah. And logout. Logout, that's the last endpoint. We get session ID from cookies. If we have session ID, we delete this session from our database and clear cookie, and then redirect to the main page. Okay, let's start this server and take a look at this. Okay, it works. Okay, we see our login form, and let's try to input wrong password and login. Invalid credentials. And now let's input correct login and password. Login, password, sign in, and we see our to-do list. And let me open this in a new tab, in a new window, and one more example. Let me show it in incognito tab. Sign in form. But why? Because incognito tab is an interesting instrument. It's just a window with empty storage. See? We don't have our cookies, but we can go back to the main window and we have it. And that's the idea of incognito tab, is a new window with empty storage, and when you close incognito window, browser clears storage from your computer. That's all. And it means that incognito tab doesn't have our session, and let me try to do something, invalid credentials, and I want to show you something. We have empty storage in our incognito tab. It means that we don't have session ID cookie. See? No. And now let's move to the main window and just copy value of this cookie. Then go to incognito tab again, create new cookie with the same name, session ID, and this value. And update our page. See, we are authorized in our incognito type, even without password. It means that someone can avoid entering your password just by stealing cookie. And that's the reason why cookies are super important. You have to keep them safe. And okay, there are some good news. You can go to the main page and click logout. And let me show you something. Let's add breakpoint here on logout and go to to-do list. And logout is just a new form with method post and path logout. When you click this button, browser sends post request to this path. And endpoint, just we get from cookie session ID, and if session ID exists, we delete it from our database. Okay, let's check. This is a main tab, and this is incognito tab. Let's update everything. Everything works. And let's click logout. Logout. Okay, session ID from cookies. It's our session ID. We have it. And our database contains only one session ID right now. And this is the same ID. And after that, sessions are empty. And we clear cookie from storage, from browser. Okay. And now let's update this page. Yeah. We are unauthorized. We are authorized here still because we didn't reload the page and we still have session ID here. But this session ID is nothing right now. And when we click, okay, let me show you something. We can go to this endpoint and show breakpoint and update our page. Session ID, we still have it because we are in incognito tab, but this session ID is invalid because we don't have it in our session database, and we return sign in. Okay, let me show it. Again, sign in. And that's good because you can just go to your account settings and click revoke all sessions. A lot of services has this option, and that's the reason why, because some of your sessions can be compromised and it's a good idea to sometimes clear them. And that's all. That's the problem of cookies. They're super convenient because you don't have to authorize in each tab on each request, but they have some problems. And a lot of viruses, they are looking for popular browsers, scan their cookies and send them to their servers. And yes, that's the reason why someone can steal your account even without knowing your password. That makes cookies dangerous. And what can I suggest? Don't install unknown plugins, because plugins in browser, they have access to cookie storage. What else? Don't install unknown software, because yeah, they can contain viruses that looking for your cookies. And it's a good idea to separate browsers for different tasks. For example, for your personal accounts, use one browser, and for searching and something else, use another. That's it for today. Thanks for watching and see you in the next videos. Bye!